about mirror work, as you can see from the title. So I started to see videos on YouTube. Literally just kind of see them. I didn't click on them, but years ago I would see things about mirror magic or mirror work or mirror manifestation. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't click on it because it freaked me out. I'm like, what? You know? So, the concept of staring in the mirror has kind of been like demonized a little bit. Um, you know, People associate it with arrogance and things like that. And also, we all know the story of Snow White and how the queen would look in the mirror and talk to the mirror, and there was someone there who would, answer her. So it's kind of always a little freaky idea for me. However, I ran across one video maybe like 3 days ago. It was a lady, um, and the title of it was something of the sense of how I manifested so much money. I can't remember the amount, but it was like $22,000, I think, with mirror work. And so I'm not gonna lie, just coming from my background, like I grew up in a very religious, Christian Baptist um, background. So hearing the word magic it throws you off a little. So when I saw this mirror work, I was like, okay, let me just see. And the video wasn't that long either. And I'll try to link her video to wherever I will post this. But so she was telling how she manifested, I believe it was like $22,000 by doing mirror work. And she said she would get into the mirror, like sit in front of her mirror every day, whether it was her mirror in her restroom, somewhere at home, or even in her car, like her mirrors, the cars, and she would basically talk to herself. Number one, she came into alignment and agreement that she and God was one, that God is within us and we are the temple of God. And see, a lot of people will fight with you on this idea, but the Bible clearly says it. So, but how God resides in her, and because He does reside in her, that her and God were one. She also came into alignment with self-love. She had to start telling herself that she loved her. She would call herself by name. She would call God by name. And she would acknowledge that they were one. So she would be like, so if I was saying, I would say, I love you, Shauna. I love you, God. We are one. You, you know, you, God, and I, we're one. She would apologize to herself for anything that she's done to create blockages for blessings. She would also like affirm different things. She would tell herself that she was beautiful. Um, you tell yourself that you're loved. You acknowledge that, you're powerful because God lives in you and you are God. So she would affirm these things over and over and over. And she did this like every day or whenever she got the opportunity. And she said out of the blue one day, she checked her mail, thought it was like a normal check for work, and that check was literally like it paid her $22,000, something that she was not expecting. So obviously, she's not used to getting that much money. But within that work, with them releasing those blockages and with them releasing and letting go of the idea that her and God were separated and she was nothing and he was just so big. She recognized that her and God are one, and she gave all praises and all thanks to God for this. And she received this check for $22,000. And so, recently, this year has been a very tough year for me. It started out financially, it went into my home life. It's just been a rough year. And so I was literally down to my last. So I've been doing this. So I saw the video like 3 days ago, and I immediately did. I think right after the video, I ran to the restroom, and I started doing the work. I woke up the next morning, I did the work, and even when I didn't have a mirror, I know me. So I went within, and I talked to God that way. I went within. So if I could be laying down, no mirror around me, I could be in the car and driving to where I can't literally look, you know, but I would talk to myself and I would talk to God within myself. 2 days I did this. I'm still currently doing it, but yesterday, which was the second day when I did it, the day I woke up, I had some money that was, you know, I opened up a new bank account and I gave them a check directly. So, you know how it is, sometimes they will hold your money. Well, this time they held my money for almost a full week. And so my money still wasn't released yesterday, so I couldn't get access to that money. I only had a little bit of money on me, literally, and I know I needed it for gas and food. So, after a long day, you know, I kind of drove my aunt. I was driving her car, and I drove her, you know, around and to school, and took my sister on some errands. I kind of dedicated my day to serving others, in all honesty, which I do anyway because it's my family. But you know, I stayed positive. Like even though I didn't have a lot of money, even though they wouldn't release the money I did have, even though I don't know how the other money, I mean, any money was gonna come, when they were gonna release the money or anything. So I just stayed positive. So towards the end of the day, when I was ready to go home, I said, you know what, I need to cook for me and my children. So I went in there with a very little amount of money, like very, very little. I was gonna probably take a budget of about $20 and go in there, and it's about really all I had, in all honesty. I was gonna just buy some stuff to make a meal. Well, I go in there with my niece, and she's getting some, you know, small list for her mother as well. So we're there, we're shopping, and then we're kind of pulling out our phones and calculating the amount plus tax, and seeing if we can afford this, and if we can, we're putting stuff back. And I had to put things back that, man, I was like, it kind of hurt my feelings because, you know, like my daughter, she loves the squeezable applesauces, and I literally had to put that back because I was like, I can't afford it right now. I'm just gonna have to wait till I get some more money or something that comes through. And so I'm putting stuff back, but I'm staying confident. I'm staying positive. You know, it hurt my feelings a little bit, but I'm still positive. I'm like, you know what? At least I still get to feed my family. I'm not to the point where I can't not feed my family. And so me and my niece, we roll up to the checkout lines with our basket. And two ladies, and we're in Walmart, just to let you know, we're in Walmart. And two ladies that work there say, hey, we can bring y'all over here. Y'all ring in with card. And I immediately told her yes, but I forgot when I walked over there that I actually had some on the card and I had some cash. So I forgot that. So she starts to ring up my niece first, and I'm like, oh, and my sister might go over her amount. I don't know if I have enough on a card right now to pay for her stuff and my stuff. So I get on my phone. Number one, there was divine intervention because I was about to just go in line and just pay with what I had. But these two ladies that stopped us, that was divine intervention from God, and I know. So they pull us over, they start to ring her up, and I'm like, okay, let me see what I can do to help. So I pull out my card just to see. You know, I walked in there, I'm not gonna lie, I walked in there with $5 on my card. I had like a $20 bill in cash. I had $5 on my card. So I walked in there with $5 because I checked it before I got out the car, so I knew what I was going to be shopping with. When I went to check my account, swiped to see what's on there, just to make sure I had that $5 still in there, guess how much was on the screen? $788. I kid you not. I walked in the store, and we weren't there that long. I mean, because we didn't have much money, so we weren't doing that much shopping. We weren't there an hour then, but we had, you know, we got our stuff and went on. I walked in there with $5. When I got to those ladies to check out, my account said $788. So the whole time she's ringing up stuff and asking for my sister's pen, and my niece is trying to remember. My niece is like 12. Yeah, she's 12. So I'm like stuck. Like what? Like $788? What the heck is going on? Like where did this money come from? And so I go into the account, I try to log in, because you know, you can check your balance sometimes without logging to your account. That's how mine is. So I was able to log into my account and looked and saw that a check that I was supposed to be getting um, in the middle of next month, which is not even next month yet, even today. Today is the 31st of July. A check that I was supposed to be getting in the middle of August came on the 30th of July. Yeah, of July. Some people are gonna say, oh, it's luck. Some people are gonna look into it and say, oh, it's whatever. Number one, it was a blessing. It was a blessing to go in there with $5 and walk out with almost $800, which I did because I still had the $20 bill. So to walk out with $800 from $5 is a miracle and a blessing, and it came right when I needed it. What if I would have told those ladies, no, we're gonna just pay over here. I probably would never look to see if it was there. I probably wouldn't even know it was there till too late. I mean, and the fact that it came like that when I needed it, it came right on time when I needed it, and I like literally just start thanking God and giving Him praises. Thank you for blessing me. I mean, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, God in me. Thank you. Thank you. God is everywhere. We need to stop limiting God. I just saw 11:11 on the timer of this video. Wow, that's crazy. But we need to stop limiting God and limiting ourselves, because God does reside in us. If God is everywhere, then He is within us. And we have to keep our temple clean. And I'm learning like so many lessons about myself and my body, because I want God to reside in me, because I want bigger mirror. And I know something bigger is going to come. Today is the 31st. I'm waiting on a huge miracle, and I can't wait to tell you all about it, because I know it's going to happen, so I will be making a video about it. But we're in the month of 7, which is completion. 8 is new beginnings. So we're going to end this month with a bang and go into some great blessings and new beginnings. But going back to the story, like, oh my gosh, I told the ladies about it, and they were just like, oh, see, we love things like that. Like, those are blessings. Those are things that send chills down your spine. And I was able to turn back around and go and get everything that I put back plus more. Go and get everything that I put back plus more. Let me tell you something. I don't care what you want to call some of these things. A lot of things are demonized because of labels. There's some people who won't go to church right now because somebody labeled church, somebody labeled a pastor, somebody labeled a preacher or church people, and people won't go. That doesn't mean it's not good. That doesn't mean it won't work. That doesn't mean it's not for you. Get past the labels and look at the work. Look at the work. Look at the fruit. What does it produce? If it works, it works. And I am a living witness that, and this on top of all things, this is not the only work that I do. My prayers daily, I stay in my word, I try to stay positive, I try to be a giver. All those things attribute to what happened to me. But I'm telling you, this happened after the mirror work, and you know what's connected because your heart and your mind and your soul tells you this came from this. And I really believe that it came from the mirror work, or whatever you want to call it. So if you want to say, looking at yourself and affirming yourself and recognizing the God in you and the power in you, you don't have to say mirror work. You don't have to say none of that stuff. But look at the work. I dare you to try it. I dare you to try it. Like, I dare you to recognize the God within you. I dare you to recognize that you are beautiful, you are loved, and you are deserving. That's another thing. She would say, she taught me, she talks about in the video, you have to tell yourself you're deserving of these things. Sometimes we don't get blessings because we don't feel like we're deserving. And whether we admit it consciously or subconsciously, that is there. So we know when we feel like we don't deserve. That's why a lot of us have the spirit of lack, the spirit of poverty on us, because somewhere subconsciously or either consciously, sometimes we say it. Sometimes we will actually say, I'm not deserving of this. And I even hate playing and just using it as an example, because I don't even want the universe, I don't want God to hear that. So I tell myself I am deserving of blessings. I am deserving of the huge blessings. What I experienced yesterday was huge, but it was not big enough for the God that I serve. It wasn't that He can do so much more. I'm talking about, I deserve millionaire, billionaire status of money. I deserve things that are owed to me, but now I expect and deserve things that come out of nowhere. I deserve the manna from the sky. I deserve that. That just comes out of nowhere. I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve manna from heaven. I deserve the unexpected blessings. I deserve the things that are set up and owed to me, but just locked up. Release it. I have been asking God to let me live under an open heaven. I do not want the doors, the windows of heaven to be shut on me anymore. I want to live under an open heaven for the rest of life. I want God to open up the floodgates of heaven. And it happened. And it's happening right now. Like I said, I can't wait to make my next video for you all. So just remember, mirror works. Mirror manifestation works. It works. But you can't do it without God. You have to recognize what's in you. And whatever you want to call it. I don't believe that we shouldn't, we got to be careful with labels and names and things like that. God has called many things. He's called many things, but I know He's in me. I know the power that's within me. And I dare you to try it. Sit in front of your mirror. Look at yourself in your eyes. And first I kind of stare at myself and kind of get in tune with myself first. I look and, oh my gosh, when I was looking at myself, I saw the fire in my eyes. The windows to the soul, I saw that fire in my eyes. And from there, I just started by calling myself by name, by calling God. I started telling myself, I love you, Shauna. I love you. I'm sorry for any pain that you've had to endure on account of me. And not on account of me, the things that have just happened. But you have to recognize that we have the power to control our lives. So it's hard to blame other people. So I did apologize for the power. I mean the blockages that I have had to stop my blessings, any pain that I've had to endure. I recognize me and God as one. Shauna and God as one. And I spoke those things any chance I got. Like I said, in the mirror, even when I wasn't in the mirror. See, religious things, ritual things, really just kind of give you discipline and teach you. We got to get out of it. Somebody said something profound. They said, spirituality is the tree, but religion is the branches. Religion is your means to get to your spirituality. So, people like to walk around, I'm not a religious person. You have to be to a certain extent to get to your spirituality, because you need discipline, because we have these physical shells that block us from getting there. Like, we are so in tune with our reality that we're a slave to it, that it's hard to get to the spirit, that it's hard to get to the soul, because we live in a physical world, or at least we think we live in this physical world. So you need that religious practice, you need those rituals to get you to your spirituality. And I'm learning so much. Oh my gosh. And it's life changing for me. My life is changing as you watch this video. Like, by the time you see this video, greater things have happened for me. Greater things have already happened. So I dare you to try it. Depending on where this is posted, comment below and tell me what you think, if you've tried it, if you're interested in it. And peace and blessings to you.